This is Let's Talk Real Estate with Corina Cisneros on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio Lakes Region. Once again, here's Corina.
Today, a very special guest. We are not in our studio today because of social distancing due to coronavirus. So we're on a video conference with Carl LaChance, owner of LaChance Water Filtration in Tilton, New Hampshire. Welcome to our show, Carl.
Thank you very much for having me, Corina. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Okay, with everything that's going on with the coronavirus, what are the chances that any of us could inadvertently catch the coronavirus from either city water or our own dug or drilled well?
Very unlikely. The city water has chlorine that's added to it, so there should be no bacteria in city water. And anybody that's on a private well should do some periodic testing. There may be other things in the water besides corona. There's different types of bacteria that are in water, but corona wouldn't be one of them. Corona is something that's transferred through the air to each individual.
Okay, so Carl, just to clarify, if you're going to drill a well or a dug well, that's not what you do.
Correct. I treat the water. We don't do the well drilling.
Okay. So once you have a well or a drill well, Carl focuses on the quality of water that goes into the home. So we know from what you just said, Carl, that coronavirus can't get it through drinking water. But what are the dangerous things that you could get through your drinking water if it's not correctly treated?
Correct. Very good question. There are many types of different bacteria that travel through water. There's things, like Legionnaire's disease. There's even botulism. There's lots of different viruses and cysts that can be contained in your water. That's why it is important to test your water, and you want to test for coliform. Coliform is a bacteria that is an indicator that there could be something else wrong with the water. It's very expensive to test for Legionella's disease or some of these other very harmful bacteria. That's why you test for coliform, and that's why you should be testing your water for coliform at least on an annual basis to understand, because if there's no coliform, there won't be anything else, because coliform is the most common bacteria there is. It's everywhere, so that's why they test for it.
So if I have a home that has a drilled well, which are most of the homes in New Hampshire, do they call you for a water test?
Yes, we offer on-site field testing for things like iron and manganese, and we also can come to your home and draw something like a comprehensive test that would include bacteria, or you can stop by our office in Tilton and pick up a test kit and bring it home and fill up the bottles and bring it back. There's two ways you can do that.
What's the difference between water tests? Is there a simple water test, and is there a more comprehensive water test?
Yes, there are several types of water testing that you can test for. The things that we test for on site, which is a free test, is for sizing for a filter system for treating like iron and manganese or odors or something like that. But testing for there's many different levels. The Safe Drinking Water Act that covers all of the water testing possible is like $2,500, which is very expensive, and nobody normally does that. That would only come into play if you were like doing a community system. But if you're just testing for your home, then a comprehensive test is a nice test for something like a bedrock well, whereas there's different things that are included, such as bacteria, arsenic, radon, iron, manganese, hardness. And that's a nice test that we recommend for anybody that has a newly drilled well. There are some state guidelines as well.
Let me ask you, so the water's coming into the house, looks clear, looks fine, But what's a telltale sign that something's wrong? Is it an odor, or is it something happening that we can see eventually as it builds up in our toilets or our sinks? What are the telltale signs that we got to call Carl to come figure this out?
Okay. You can't see arsenic and you can't see radon. That's why testing is important. But there are telltale things like iron, where it's going to stain in your toilets, or an odor could be hydrogen sulfide gas. And that's why you want to call us to come out and do a consultation so we can identify some of those things and possibly do some testing if you haven't had testing done for radon or arsenic, something like that.
Well, what would you smell as a telltale sign that, we better call Carl?
Rotten egg smell would be one. Some people can even smell the iron, and some people, depending on the amount, can smell manganese.
And what does that mean if you get those three or one of those? What's going on?
Well, it's just naturally occurring elements coming from the ground. Hydrogen sulfide is a gas that is coming from swamplands far away, and the gas comes into the system, and then you get that rotten egg smell.
Why are they dangerous, aside from being a nuisance?
Actually, hydrogen sulfide and iron, those aren't harmful. The ones that are harmful, you can't see. That's why why it's important to do the testing.
Carl LaChance of LaChance Water Filtrations. These are water experts. If you need assistance to know if the water you're drinking at home is honestly great water for you and your family, or if you're not noticing the right kind of water going into your dishes, you have a smell, or you have any situation with the water, Carl's your man. That's who you're going to call. So, Carl, with that said, water softening. Do you have a system that will take hard water into soft water?
Yes, we sell a water softener that uses salt to regenerate itself. There are things out there that claim that there are salt-free softeners, but they are snake oil and they really do not work. We end up taking a lot of these systems out that people have bought online because they just don't do what they say.
Why is it important to have soft water? Why don't you just keep it hard?
The term soft water the term hardness, soft water is the opposite of hard. And the term hardness means water's hard to use, meaning you have to use more soap to make suds, and it's hard to use. A water softener just happens to be the opposite term of hard water.
And we obviously want the more suds as we can because it's more efficient, right?
Correct. And there's other things that hardness is calcium in the water, and it will affect your heating system and will make you spend more energy to heat the water when you have hard water. So a water softener is one of the most economical things you can do to save money in your home.
Is it also good to have soft water for washing your clothes at home?
Absolutely. It will make your clothes actually last longer because they rinse better and the soap isn't wearing on your garments.
And what does it cost approximately to install a water softening system in your home?
Typically around $200 to $2,500, depending on what we have to do for installation.
Okay. So, all right. So what about safe drinking water? So we get the water from the well, it comes into the house. I know in my house, it goes through a water softening process. Then it goes into, I don't know what other process, I just don't know. And then finally, it goes into a reverse osmosis process so that when it comes out of my sink, in my sink, I have this little thing that I press and it gets, water that is apparently as clean as it can be of all impurities. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. A reverse osmosis system is a nice peace of mind. It's a dedicated drinking water system typically. They're typically done as a point of use, a drinking water, and sometimes they can be run to your refrigerator, and they remove all of the dissolved minerals in the water. And like I mentioned earlier, it's very expensive to test for so many contaminants. A reverse osmosis is a nice peace of mind that is a lesser expensive system where you don't have to test for everything under the sun because you know that the system is removing it.
And what's the difference between reverse osmosis system and an ultraviolet system?
A reverse osmosis removes dissolved minerals, and an ultraviolet light kills bacteria. Basically, it sterilizes the bacteria so it can't grow and be harmful to you. So an ultraviolet light is for killing bacteria.
Okay, so we talked about water softening and drinking water. Now, there are three other things that are pretty common in New Hampshire. What do we need to fix those? That would be iron, an odor, or arsenic, for example.
Correct. Sometimes you can use iron in the water to reduce arsenic. So it's all about water testing. And I understand it's complicated, but that's why you call us to help you figure it out.
There's no water system for every house. They have to be custom assembled to the type of water you have. It's not something you can go pick up at Walmart or Home Depot. You actually need somebody like yourself with experience, and that's why you still have a job, to custom fit the right system to the house.
You got it. Exactly. Everybody's water is different, and the chemistry can vary from two wells that are side by side. Many times I've been contacted that they went to a box store and bought something and was supposed to work, and it's not working, and it's because they didn't understand the chemistry of the water.
And it all starts with testing. Just like to get rid of this coronavirus, we could use more testing.
Correct.
We had more testing, we know what we're dealing with. So, so sorry I had to say that, but we need more testing. Now, okay, going back to water. So in order for you to give your best advice and counsel to your clients, you say, okay, I'll be happy to look at your system. I'll go to your house, but let's do a water test first, because that's how we're going to find out what's going on. Then I'll look at your systems that you have or don't have. We'll come up with a plan to make sure you're happy with your water. Is that right?
That is absolutely correct. We offer free consultations, and we would come out to your house and evaluate the system. If you're buying or selling a home and are concerned and would like to hear about your system and understand it better, please give us a call, and we'll gladly be here to assist you.
Carl, a couple last things. How long have you been in business for, or how long have you been in this trade?
I've been doing this for almost 20 years now.
Congratulations. And where do they call you, Carl, if they want to talk to you directly?
Sure. 603-732-2533. That goes directly to my cell. And you can also find us on the web at LaChanceWaterFiltration.com.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Carl, to have you on the show. Would you come back?
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Okay, excellent. Join me next Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. for another episode of Let's Talk Real Estate, where we share with you important information that will help you with either buying or selling your home. And if you or somebody you know who is looking to purchase a new home or sell, call me, because even in the age of coronavirus, we have people buying and selling, and we can do it safely. So give me a call to discuss how we can help you safely buy and safely sell your home. You can visit us at nhlakeshomes.com or on our Facebook page. And remember, as always, mi casa es su casa, and my name is Corina, like the song Corina, Corina. Until next week, play my song.
Corina, 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 I love you so.
Let's Talk Real Estate is presented by the Cisneros Realty Group, powered by eXp Realty, and sponsored by Dana Gunnarsson of the Joe Suazo Allstate Insurance Office, Hudkins Law Title and Settlement, and NCT Nano Coating Technologies. Let's Talk Real Estate is a production of Modern Media LLC, CRG TV, and MR Strategic Alliance, all rights reserved. Join us every Saturday morning at 8:30 for Let's Talk Real Estate with Corina Cisneros on 101.5 Sports Radio, Lakes Region.